What is going on, guys? MJ2005 Gundam here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the high-grade Gundam Age 2 Dark Hound from Mobile Suit Gundam Age. Now, this thing is my favorite Age 2 out of all the variants that existed, including the Magnum. Now, the Strider form is definitely a bit lacking, well, due to the huge gap behind that the Age 2 Magnum SV fixed with the Sigmastis funnels, but overall, this thing does look really good. Now, yeah, as I said, the gap is a bit of a problem for me, but I really like the color scheme, and basically it being a pirate, which gives it a little bit of the edge, and the hooks over here do not look out of place at all. It is not equipped onto the hands, it's equipped onto the binders, which, yeah, it does give it a very justifiable reason for having hooks. But, yeah, all in all, this thing is definitely my favorite H2 of them all. And, yeah, being in this black and red color scheme, it just tops it all for me. But yeah, the Wave Rider mode, apart from the gigantic gap over here, it's very good looking. I especially like how they use the Hyperdots Lancer for the nose cone to give it more of a streamlined look. So without further ado, let's transform the H2 Dark Hound. So it is basically the same as the original H2, so I'm not gonna really say anything about it. I'm just gonna fast forward through this and I'll be right back. And here you have it, the H2 Dark Hound in its mobile suit form. So the H2 Dark Hound in mobile suit mode actually looks pretty cool. It doesn't have the cumbersome fins or the cumbersome funnels on the shoulders. Instead, it has kind of like a cloak aesthetic. And it does have a pirate's hat, and also has a hatch to cover up the hole that plugs the Hyperdots and Lancer into this for mobile armor mode. But all in all, it's basically the same as the H2 normal. And I have to say, the H2 normal, I'm not a fan of it. But here, the H2 Dark Hound with the slight modifications, and of course the different color scheme, I really like it. It just looks edgy and it just looks fierce. So this is probably the fiercest among all of the H2s that exist. So I really do like it. So seam lines, they aren't really that big of a problem if you assemble it properly. Now the biggest seam lines are in the joints over here, because well, polycaps really hate working with me, and also the seam lines down here if you do not assemble it properly. Of course, the arms down here, the seam lines are very obvious down here, which all of the H2s have faults for. But all in all, this does look very good. And of course, with the dark colors, you can kind of hide some of the flaws of this kit. So yeah, there is that. So for stickers, you have the forehead skull, you have the eye stickers, which is a full eye sticker with the both eyes, but then you also have a really null green one over here for the eye patch, which is connected to the face mask. And then of course you have the two on the skulls on the chest, and then I believe that is it, because I didn't use the ones for the Vulcans in here, so I just left them out. So there aren't a lot of stickers on this guy, so it's really appreciated, especially those are just for detailing, not necessarily for any color correcting purposes. But yeah, it's very good. Articulation is the same as the old H2, double ball jointed head, a ball joint at the arms over here. They can swivel forwards and up and down like so, and then the shoulder binders, they can rotate front and back. And then the cloaks, they can shift out, mainly for the transformation, but they can also get out of the way, so that the arms can move out that far, like so. And then they can rotate above the elbow, bend at the elbow at 2 joint, giving you that nice 135, ball jointed wrists, and a ball jointed waist over here, because the torso has to accommodate the transformation mechanic. Front skirts are on ball joints, you can separate them. Side skirts are on polycaps. Back skirts, they can move for once. Now the legs, they have the forwards and back and the funky dance. They can also go forwards, go back, go out all the way. Rotation at the hip, but it's really rather tight on mine. but that's just due to the luck of the draw of the polycaps. Nothing really special. A double jointed knee, which you can break actually for the transformation, and then the feet, they are on the joint up there, and they can rock 90 degrees each way. They can rotate, and then the toes can point down for the transformation, and that is basically it. So the articulation is, as usual, very, very good, since this is reusing the H2's mold. So articulation, there's nothing really to fault it for. So accessories, there aren't a lot of accessories. So what's on the body, first of all, is the beam sabers over here. So they can just simply tip out like so. They're colored in a gray instead of a white this time, and plop it into the hand. And this kit does come with 2 clear pink beams, so you can use these on the beam sabers. And the next up, you would have the Hyper Dots Lancer. So this thing does have a metallic green sticker for the underslung scope, but all in all, this thing just looks really good. The stock is basically the same as the original H2, but instead of having a gigantic barrel, you have a gigantic silver lance head, which I really, really like. I like the silver. It's like the pearlescent silver that the Crossbone full cloth GBFT used. So it's pretty nice. So it just comes down like so. So you can slide the handle into the hand and just trap the hand inside. Or if you do not want the Gundam to hold it, you can store it on the back skirt, like so. But this does actually function as a third leg, because when it's straight, you cannot necessarily allow it to stand on the ground. And then finally, you have the wire shots over here, or the anchor shots, I forgot what they're called. So they can come out from the mantle, you can let the Gundam hold it, like so, and you do get a piece of wire over here. So it is a regular gray flexible wire, so you can just fire the anchor, and you just stick the wire inside here, and here you have it. Now, it is not necessarily a strong connection inside of the gun, but you could still get a pretty decent amount of poses with the anchor. But yeah, due to this being a very, very old kit, the wire, well, it will cause a bit of an issue. So I will leave it off, but if there's some way to work around it without breaking the casing, tell me in the comments below. So that's basically all the accessories for the H2 Dark Hound. Now this guy does also come with a stand, which I shown in the transformation section, which does store all of the extra pieces of the H2. So you do have a fist and an open hand, both for the left hand, which is safely stored under the stand. I wonder why Bandai doesn't do that anymore right now. Like, the last kit that I know of that does this is the HFX. But anywho, you do get a stand that stores everything for you, so that you won't have to worry about losing a single damn thing. So for comparisons, here it is next to Kyo's HFX. So here is father and son. Now I do have the H1 Glancer, I reviewed it a long time ago, but I can't be asked to grab it from the shelf outside in the living room, because it is hidden inside of the crowd, and I really do not want to take the time to take out all the kits just to get the H1 Glancer for this specific purpose. So yeah, I left it out. But in place of him is another very bulky suit, the Hazel with subarm unit. I know this is the most unjustifiable crime that I've committed on the channel, but here it is. So that is all for the H2 Dark Hound review. What do I think of this kit? Well, the color scheme just says it all. It just tops it all for every single H2 variant out there. This thing is my favorite H2. I don't know if you guys are with me on this, but this thing is definitely one of my favorites, and if not my favorite H2, even over the H2 Magnum SV F Explosion version that's going to be coming out in November. But yeah, the dark color scheme is basically the king here. Of course, the pirate silhouette gives it more of a reason to be edgy, and of course the cloak here is not cumbersome. You can move everything out of the way, and if you do not like the cloak, you can have a clean shoulder without the ugly pegs on the shoulders. So that's very good. And yeah, the basic silhouette of it and the color scheme just tops it all. And if not, it is just your regular old H2. It's the same old kit, so all the pros and cons do apply on this thing, so there's nothing really to say here. It's a very decent kit. Now the Bandai has reissued it. If you do not have this guy in the collection, definitely go ahead and pick it up. So that's it for me. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you did like it, please be sure to drop a like, comment, and also subscribe for more Gunpla reviews, Gunpla news, and all that kind of stuff. Subscribe to the featured channels on my channel page if you haven't, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out, guys. Bye bye.